really have to earn your chances against him. He won't give them to you. He doesn't miss easy balls and give you chances. You have to go out and earn them.
He's having the time of his life and he's young. He's great for the game, and I'll just go out there and enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
That's what I kind of got into snooker for, just liven it up a little bit, go for my shots and entertain the crowd, really.
If you can produce your best here and the crowd right on top of you, there's no other venue like it.
Good afternoon. All 4 sessions in this Betfred.com World Championship final have been a sellout for months, and the atmosphere in this little Crucible Theatre in Sheffield is building ahead of the first of them. But the atmosphere has been tinged with sadness at the news today of the death of Ted Lowe, one of the most iconic broadcasters associated with the sport. Whispering Ted, as he was known, passed away this morning at the age of 90, but his hushed tones will forever be associated with some of the most dramatic moments in the sport, most notably the 1985 final. We'll be paying tribute to Ted in a few moments' time. But I'm sure he would have approved of our line-up in this final, which pits arguably the most complete all-rounder in the history of the game, 3-time world champion John Higgins, against snooker's new pot idol, 21-year-old Judd Trump, an outrageously talented player and a force of nature in the same way that was Hurricane Higgins and Whirlwind White. Well, it's taken 15 days of nerve-shredding tension, but here's how they got here.
Well, I'm inside the commentary box with the first 2 men who will describe the action on today's final. Dennis Taylor, the 1985 champion, and 7-time Crucible champion Stephen Hendry. Stephen, first of all, Judd Trump, the youngest Crucible finalist since yourself back in 1990. Can you give us an idea of what he's going through at the moment?
I bet he's in there and he cannot wait to get out there and get started. That's how I feel. It's just so thrilling. You know, all your life's ambitions to play in the Crucible and then be in the World Championship final. I bet he just can't wait.
Well, guys, just thanks for the moment. We heard from Hazel earlier that Ted Lowe sadly passed away at the age of 90. Well, I think it's fair to say that it's inside the Crucible commentary box that the great man made his name.
They called him the Wonder Bairn of Scotland. Just the last red now. And there is a rather sad picture. Stephen Hendry, world's #1 star.
And what a miraculous performance by a 23-year-old boy from Scotland. With victory at 18 frames to 14 after 10 consecutive victories in frames. No.
Picture of a very happy and popular man.
Well, Dennis Taylor, that famous night in 1985, Ted Lowe very much part of it.
Absolutely, and I'll always remember Ted's words throughout that. He used to call me the 36-year-old smiling Irishman. I will always remember Ted for that. And I was very fortunate to have been asked to commentate over 30 years ago. Someone had taken ill at the UK Championship, and they asked me would I go into the commentary box. And I was sitting next to the great man Ted Lowe, and he seen me through that session, told me when to speak, and he helped to launch my commentary career.
And Stephen, your memories of Ted Lowe?
The first time I actually met Ted, I was playing in junior pot black. I was only 14, and he was a complete gentleman. Me and my father were down there, and he was just so nice to us, made us feel so welcome.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, before play gets underway this afternoon, we will have a minute's applause in memory of the legendary snooker commentator Ted Lowe, who sadly passed away this morning. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A fitting tribute to a brilliant broadcaster, and we move on exactly as he would have wished. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. After 15 days of competition, it's time for the big one. Welcome to the final of the 2011 Betfred.com World Snooker Championship. This is a match that has captured the imagination. The banter has been going all day here in Sheffield, so it could be a cracker. Without any further ado, let's get the boys on the bays. Please welcome a young man with the world at his fingertips. He has been an absolute revelation over the last 2 weeks. His win over Ding yesterday was one of the best semi-finals ever seen here at the Crucible. It all started a month ago today when he won the China Open. This is the biggest match of his career so far. Please welcome the ace in the pack, Judd Trump. And his opponent, a player who has demonstrated huge mental strength on and off the table for the last 6 months. He never knows when he's beaten. With 23 ranking event titles to his name, he's here bidding for a 4th World Championship crown. He is without doubt one of the finest sportsmen Scotland has ever produced. Can he climb the mountain once more here in Sheffield? Ladies and gentlemen, the Wizard of Wearshaw, John Higgins.
All the best, John. Have a great final. Farewell.
So a thunderous ovation for both players, and fittingly for whispering Ted Lowe as well. So it's the Wizard against the Whiz Kid. Higgins playing in his 5th Crucible final, Judd Trump in his 1st. Stephen and Dennis, what a story it's going to be, no matter who wins.
Couldn't agree more, Hazel. An absolutely cracking final we're in for here. Experience against youth. And the family taking their little picture there just before the final gets underway. And wouldn't Ted Lowe love to have commentated on this player? Some of the balls he's knocked in this year's World Championship have been exceptional. And there's the Crucible Theatre Stephen, it doesn't get any better than this. You won 7 titles there.
John Higgins to break.
Yeah, I'm only sick that I'm not out there competing, Dennis. This is the best stage to play snooker, without a doubt. Final day at the Crucible Theatre. It's very interesting to see how Judd copes against John's game. Obviously, John is renowned as one of the greatest tactical players. He still plays a very aggressive game, but great to see how Judd copes with it.
Well, that was a half chance for Judd, and if the red goes past the yellow, it's the first chance for John Higgins. Wasn't the best break-off shot by John, bringing a red up. Should be able to hold for the blue. So it's John Higgins then who pots the first ball in this year's World Final. Well, he's overdone that. Played for the red to the left of the cue ball, just over-screwed it slightly. Left with a rather difficult cut now.
Yeah, he had a pretty good angle in the blue to go into the pink there and split the reds, but first shots in the final, obviously, you want to get your cue arm moving a bit. But he did have a decent angle.
Well, this red he's looking at, the angle seems to be taking the white into the red, so the positional side of it is going to be a little bit tricky. And it's a little bit tricky now, I can tell you. He's going to need the spider with an extension on it. The black's the only ball he can hit. Okay, he doesn't have to do a great deal, but if he wants to try and get back down the table, as we show you that red dropping in, he's going to need a little bit of assistance. Can he manage it with the normal spider? Jan Verhaas having a close look to make sure he doesn't foul the reds. No, that was a difficult shot.
John Higgins,
he tried to put a good safety in rather than just play onto the back cushion here, and Judd Trump has a chance. Hit that too thick. Now I wonder would Judd play a cannon on the black here. He's quite an aggressive young player. This be interesting to see if he tries to free that black. No, he just played to get on the blue, and an early sign of a little bit of tension, which is understandable. He's the wrong side of the blue. I think he's got to get off to a good start. There's our player's view there. As you can see, no angle on the blue. Look at this for a shot he's taking on.
Green ball.
Have a look at this shot. And have a look at this cue ball. Tell you what, Stephen, not a lot of players in the game that took that on.
That was phenomenal cueing. To say that the ready just potted, hit that poorly to finish short in the blue, but to hit that green so well. It's not out of the woods yet. This is tough to get in a colour.
Judd Trump, 4.
Well, he tried another very difficult positional shot, but he usually keeps very still on the shot. Just a little bit of movement there. Can't afford to hit the ball colours against a young potting machine like Judd. You leave him half a chance at anything and you know he's going for it. Let's see how well he can cue this one.